Water is water, but not when it comes to homeowners insurance.
We have to try and understand the difference between water damage and flood damage. And the easiest way to do it is if the water is coming from above down, it's usually water damage, and that would usually be covered under your homeowner's policy. If it's water that's coming up or it's rushing under your front door, it's starting down, then that's usually going to be something that would be covered under a flood insurance policy.
And the two are not one and the same. Homeowners must have a separate policy to cover flood and mudslide damage.
You can get a flood insurance policy from FEMA, right, through the National Flood Insurance Program, and there are private companies that offer their own flood insurance. And they can be a fraction of the cost of what FEMA's policy is.
Insurance expert Carl Sussman says the greater the flood risk to your property, the higher your premium will be.
But people need to realize if we have a bad storm and they get flooding from oversaturated ground, or there's a slide that comes through, that may not be covered under your regular policy.
It would almost not ever be covered under your policy because, again, that's water that's coming up.
In 2023, flood insurance claims soared more than 200% in California, according to the National Flood Insurance Program. And data from the Public Policy Institute of California found that more than 7 million residents, that's 1 in 5, live in areas at risk of flooding. But less than a quarter of those households actually carry flood insurance.
Do a lot of people not realize that their regular homeowners insurance policy doesn't cover that kind of flooding, doesn't cover those kind of slides?
I think most people assume that if they have a homeowner's policy, they have coverage, whether it be for a fire, for earthquake, for flood, they just have it. And they don't. So yeah, I think that it's a little bit of education goes a long way.
And just because you weren't required to purchase flood insurance to get a home loan doesn't mean you don't need it.
And that's a big thing that we find all the time is people will come in and say, well, I'm not in a zone. I'm not in a flood zone. Okay, but does that mean that you're never going to have flood damage? No, it just means that the bureaucrats somewhere have not put that into the system yet to decide that the risk is high enough to mandate it.
In fact, FEMA data shows that 1 in 3 floods occur in areas that are considered low to moderate risk.